I already showed you the theory on how to work with verbs in the present simple tense, or more precisely, in presente de indicativo. And in this video, I want to put that theory into practice, and I want to show you a couple of exercises that will be using the correct forms of the verbs in the present simple tense, depending on the person that we're talking about. So all of the exercises or all of the verbs in this video are going to be regular, and I'll be talking about a few irregular verbs or verbs with some irregular changes in the future video. So let's go ahead and get started. The first couple of exercises I have here just state the verb and then the person that we should put it into. And then I also have some exercises that have full sentences. So let's take a look at the first one. It says vivir, which means to live. And we should put this verb into third person singular. Okay, so first of all, the first thing you always have to do when you're trying to conjugate a verb in Spanish, you have to take a look at its ending. You see that vivir ends with an IR. So we are going to be using the IR suffixes in order to put it into the correct person. So I explained in the previous video that in order to get the correct form of the verb, you have to take it, you have to, look at the ending, and then you have to put it away. And then this is the root of the verb, and you will be putting the correct suffix to the end of the root of the verb and get the correct form. So let's recap the correct endings or the correct suffixes for IR ending verbs. These were o, es, e, imos, is, en. So I'll just write them out. O, es, e, imos, is, en. And right here they want third person singular. So 1, 2, 3. This is the ending that we want. So this is the ending for he, she, it, or in Spanish, él, ella, and usted. So we put away the ending, the IR. We're left with viv. This is the root. And we already know that this is the correct ending to add there. So we say vive. So right now we have él, ella, or usted. Just a quick recap. Usted is not a version of it, which exists in the English language. Usted is a formal way of addressing someone in a you position, but someone who you will want to address in a more, let's say, proper way or formal way. So, él, ella, usted vive. This is the third person singular of vivir. Let's take a look at the next verb, which is creer. It means to think, and we want the second person plural. So again, first of all, we take a look at the ending, which is ER. The endings for ER are O, S, E, hemos, eis, en. And since they want the second person plural, which is you, plural, I'll just write them out again. O, S, E, hemos, eis, en. Okay, so the first three are singular, the other three are plural, and they want second person plural, so this is the ending that we're going to want, eis. So we cut away the ER, we're left with cre, which is the root, and then we just put this at the end, creéis. And this is the form, this is you in plural, creéis, so you in plural, think. This is how it looks in Spanish. Okay, I think you're starting to get the hang of it, so I'll go through the remaining ones pretty quickly. Third verb, vender, which means to sell. They want it in the second person singular. Again, we have an ER ending verb. So this is the root. We put the ER away. First person singular for ER endings. O, es, e, hemos, eis, en. So O is the one we're going for. Yo vendo. I'll write it in a different color. Yo vendo, so I sell. The next verb that we have here is reflexive. So you can see that if you see this, don't be baffled or confused, because you can always find the ending of the verb, even if it is followed by a reflexive part. So se we can ignore for now, and we'll get to that later. And we can see that the verb ends with ar, so we're going to be needing the AR endings. So ducharse, we want the first person plural. First person plural is we, and the ending is amos. O, as, a, amos, ais, an. So amos, so nosotros duchamos. Again, I just erased the AR, I took the root, and I added amos as the correct suffix. This is an A, by the way, duchamos. But we still got this thing to look at, the reflexive part. We can't leave it out. Of course, we can ignore it while we're still thinking about the correct suffix. But once we're finalizing the form, we have to take a look at this as well, because it is a part of the verb. So ducharse, duchamos, and we've said that the endings, or the correct forms of the reflexive parts of the verb, are me, te, se, nos, os, se. So this is for yo me, tú te, él se. Okay, so this is first person, second person, third person, and so on. And then when first person plural, which is this one. So the whole thing would be nosotros nos duchamos. Nosotros could be left out. It just means we. And we already know that we can infer the person from the form of the verb, because this and this tells us that we're talking about we, so in the first person plural, but you can add it there, nothing happens. Nosotros nos duchamos. This is we take a shower. Okay, and the last one in these types of exercises is the verb ganar. Ganar means to win, and we have to put it into the third person plural. So ganar ends with AR, therefore we will be using the AR suffixes just the way we did with ducharse, but it's not reflexive, so we will not be needing this part or these things right here. Third person plural means they, and the ending for AR verbs for third person plural is an. So ellos, ellas, or ustedes ganan, which means they win. Okay, so we've got that covered. And let's go ahead and take a look at the last three ones, which actually show full sentences, and they either have only the verb in the brackets and the person can be inferred from the remaining part of the sentence, or the last one, the person cannot be, guessed correctly from the remaining parts of the sentence, so it is included in the brackets. So the first one is Armando no hablar alemán. So we're supposed to put the word hablar, which means to talk, into the correct form based upon this person. It says Armando. Armando is a he, it's a male name, so we have to put it into the third person singular. Hablar, just as ganar or duchar, ends with an AR, so we will be using the AR endings, which means Armando no habla. I'll write it down in green. Armando no habla. So hablo, hablas, habla, hablamos, habláis, hablan. Habla is the one that we need for this particular sentence because this is third person singular. Then the other sentence is Carmen y Elena cocinar bien. So we have Carmen and Elena, which are two female names. So this will be this is the third person plural because we're talking about they. Then cocinar, which means to cook, and bien. So we want to say that these two girls cook well. So again, we have an AR ending verb, and we will be needing the third person plural to make the sentence right. So the answer would be Carmen y Elena cocinan bien. Cocinan bien. So this is the correct ending for AR verbs in the third person plural. And the last one, normalmente, yo levantarse a las 8. So here I have to put this verb into first person singular, which is yo, or I, and we see that it is an AR ending verb, but it is also reflexive. So first of all, we'll take care of the reflexive part. You can still see part of the table that I did on the reflexive endings. Yo is the first person, me, te, se, nos, os, se. We will need me, because yo is first person singular. So normalmente, me will be the beginning, and the levantar again is an AR ending verb. First person, or the correct suffix for the first person is o. So normalmente me levanto a las 8. And the sentence means normally I get up at 8 o'clock. And I don't think I translated this one. It means Armando does not speak German. Okay, so we've covered some of the exercising using regular verbs in the present simple tense, and we'll take a look at some irregular ones in the future video.